Not often do we see a generational talent come into the NBA, but Victor Wembanyama has played up to or exceeded the expectations of NBA analysts. This season, Victor Wembanyama averages 25 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 4 blocks per game on 47% from the field, 35% from three, and 88% from the line. However, through the month of December, Wemby's averaging 27 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game, 5 blocks per game on 48% from the field, 39% from three, and 89% from the charity stripe. Over this past month, Victor Wembanyama has been able to take the league by storm as he runs through the NBA averaging 27 points and 10 rebounds with almost 50, 40, 90 efficiency. And if you ask me, it's only going to get scarier. So on this episode of At the Buzzer Sports, we're going to look at what makes Victor Wembanyama such a great player. We're going to be breaking down his film, not only offensively, but defensively, whether it's shooting, driving to the rim, being a roll man or a ball handler in the pick and roll, being a spot up shooter. We're also going to be looking at what makes him so great on defense and why he has been breaking out over the month of December. Victor Wembanyama has become one of the most dangerous three-point shooters almost overnight, averaging 36% on threes on 9 attempts in the month of December. The way he's able to pull up, shoot off the dribble, shoot off motion, shoot off the pop, and pull from the logo is almost insane. He's currently leading all centers in three-point attempts per game by a wide margin, and he's knocking down 36% of them. On top of him being such a major threat down low, he now has to be guarded at the top of the key like he's a wing. With him being probably the most effective defensive player in the league, on top of his offensive game growing day by day, how do you guard him if he's shooting better than league average from three on 9 attempts a night, already being 7'5", very capable in transition, a great rebounder, and now you add three-point shooting? The NBA is going to be very scared. Let's start out with a simple pick and pop between Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul. The defenders are Colin Sexton and Walker Kessler, and they're both going to commit to a CP3 drive. Now, CP3 isn't the athletic player he once was, but if you can imagine a point guard that puts a little bit more rim pressure on the rim every single attempt, on top of Victor Wembanyama being able to attack closeouts off the pop, or to even be able to shoot off the pop, and him being 7'5" with that wingspan and that shot almost being impossible to block. So if we take a look here, the defenders are going to commit to Chris Paul, and Victor Wembanyama gets the easy three. Let's take a look at this clip right here. And this is what makes Victor Wembanyama's shooting so impressive. The defense is almost never going to press Wembanyama up at the top of the key because they're more concerned about him going to the rim. And he is so dominant and so lengthy around the rim that it's really hard to stop. So he's going to be getting open to wide open three-point shots almost every time he gets it off the pop. Let's take a look at the footage. Here in this double screen, we're going to see Dillon Brooks play drop in this because he would rather Victor Wembanyama take the shot rather than getting to the rim. So he's going to get a wide open shot and he's going to drain it. The last thing I want to bring up for Victor Wembanyama's three-point shooting is the shooting off the dribble that he possesses. He is able to create a shot with the ball in his hand by putting the ball on the floor that a lot of centers may not be able to cover just by being a little lackadaisical as a defender in space. In this clip, we're going to see Rudy Gobert try to guard Victor Wembanyama in space as he puts the ball on the floor. So let's look at the footage. We're going to start the clip with Wemby getting the ball around the left wing, and we're going to stop it right here. Due to Wemby bringing Rudy Gobert out of the paint, there are multiple opportunities to get backdoor cuts, whether it's Jeremy Sohan or Harrison Barnes or Julian Champagnie. There are so many people that can cut to the basket now that the center is out of the play. So Wemby is going to put the ball on the floor and create separation and drain another three-pointer. The next thing I want to talk about in this video is Victor Wembanyama's playmaking. And if we take a look, he's only averaging about 4 assists on the season and 5 assists over the month of December, but he's really been able to make great decisions out of the post and in attacking the basket and in transition that people don't give him a lot of credit for. The way he's able to see the floor because he stands so tall over the defender gives him a real advantage to create plays for the players around him. After the slow start to the season, some of the critiques I had with Wemby's game was he dribbled too much when he had the ball in the post, knowing that there were going to be opposing bodies coming in to try and take the ball from him because his dribble is a little too high off the ground due to him being 7'5". But over the past few weeks, he's been able to correct these mistakes and make decisions when he's in the post or when he's driving to the basket a lot quicker, therefore leading him to having an uptick in assists per game. This month, he's averaging 5 assists per game. Last month, he was averaging 4, and we're going to be looking at the film to show you guys how much better he has gotten as a playmaker this season to last. Let's start with this clip right here against the Sacramento Kings. Victor Wembanyama has already been having an uptick in three-point volume and percentage this season, so now the centers play him a lot closer to the top of the key than they would earlier this season. So now he has the opportunity to drive to the rim past these other bigs who may not be as athletic as he is. So he's going to create numbers in the paint, and we know once you put 2 feet into the paint, something good is bound to happen, and Victor Wembanyama is able to make those decisions now. He's going to get his defender with the pump fake, drive to the rim, and make the easy decision as De'Aaron Fox helps and creates an easy 2 for his offense. Let's take a look at this clip right here. As you can see, Victor Wembanyama is being guarded by the much smaller Tyrese Maxey. So that has Paul George and Caleb Martin in help. And there's 2 pretty decent cutting lanes for Jeremy Sohan and Harrison Barnes. So Victor Wembanyama is going to keep his head up as he has the length to look over the defense and notice that Jeremy Sohan has a free lane to the basket. He's going to drive and create more gravity for himself and notice the lob to Jeremy Sohan, which was basically wide open. Let's take a look at this clip right here. Being guarded by the less athletic DeAndre Ayton and much less of a defender, he's going to drive to the rim and notice that Jeremy Sohan is cutting as Jeremy Grant falls asleep on defense and he gets the easy layup to go. Right here, we see Wembanyama scanning the field before he makes a decision. And this is something that Wemby had a problem with starting the season. Now he's holding on to the ball and not letting other players try and come and disrupt his dribble, and he's making a decision. As you can tell from the height difference, he has the length and the height to really be able to scan the floor before he makes a decision, and he's going to go off the decision that he sees. From here, he's going to receive a screen from Jeremy Sohan and instantly notice the cut from Sohan leading to another easy lob. So in this clip, Victor Wembanyama is going to get the ball in transition after a rebound, and he's going to take it and go, and we're going to freeze the clip right here. I think Victor Wembanyama has the potential to be one of the better transition players the league has ever seen, and it's just because of the wingspan that he has. And when players guard him, they're going to want to stop him in his stride early on before he reaches the half-court line, before he gets a full head of steam at the rim. And that's going to always open up better shots for the players around him. As you can see, Keldon Johnson and Stephon Cassell getting out wide to make it even harder for the opposing team to guard Wemby. So let's take a look at how Victor Wembanyama is going to attack in transition. As you can see, John Collins is in a 3-on-1 situation, and Wemby, he makes the decision a little late, but ultimately gets the pass to Stephon Castle for an easy lob going into the second half. This season, Victor Wembanyama has been one of the best defenders in the NBA, and he's been averaging 4 blocks per game over the entire season, and over the month of December, he's been averaging 5. So let's look at some numbers that I recorded from Cleaning the Glass. According to Cleaning the Glass, he is a plus 28 in expected wins, which is double of last season. According to opponents' points per 100 possessions, which opposing teams are minus 28 points per 100 possessions when Victor Wembanyama is on the floor. Let's also talk about the frequency of shots that opposing teams are shooting when Wemby is on the floor. These teams are minus 3% in effective field goal percentage, minus 4.5% of shots at the rim, and a plus 4.7% of shots from 3. So that means Victor Wembanyama's rim deterrence is at the most elite in the NBA. And not only that, let's look at how these teams are shooting when they shoot in these areas. Teams are minus 4.5% at the rim shooting when Wemby is on the floor, minus 8% from the short mid-range shots when Wemby is on the floor, and minus 6.5% from long mid-range shots when Wembanyama is on the floor. They also have a minus 10% in half-court points per 100 plays, and their offensive rebound percentage is down minus 3.5%. This is something we knew going into the draft process for Victor Wembanyama. His frame and his intangibles always gave us the idea that he was going to be one of the better defenders in the NBA. And so far, not even halfway into his sophomore season, Victor Wembanyama is leading in all Defensive Player of the Year votes, and he looks like a top 5 defender in the entire NBA. So over this entire video, we've been talking about how Victor Wembanyama has been making leaps as an offensive player, but let's also go over the film of how he is such a great defensive player as well. One of the biggest reasons of what makes Victor Wembanyama so good is his length, his height. So when he's guarding a smaller center in Alperen Sengun, he's able to recover and send that one to the glass. So let's take a look at how Victor Wembanyama is able to contain the drive from an open Lou Dort as he's going to drive past and Harrison Barnes. He's going to contain this drive and be able to recover to Alex Caruso and get the block on the shot, sending it the other way. So as we can tell, Victor Wembanyama has been playing to the level of a two-way superstar this season. So the question I want to ask you guys is, how high in the ranking of NBA players is Victor Wembanyama as of right now? And this video was put together, the stats were recorded, and most of the video was recorded before Wemby dropped 42 in Madison Square Garden on his Christmas Day debut. So how much are you guys willing to say that Victor Wembanyama is comfortably a top 10 player? If you guys like this type of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post videos daily, Monday through Saturday, and if you guys want to see more consistent content from me, hit me with that subscribe button. Again, I'm out.